This is Geometry Unit 9, Day 2 homework. This is from page 184. Start out with number 3. We're going to write the equation of the line. We know that we're working with the points negative 3, 4, or 0, negative 4, and 3, 0. So number 1, we're working with a slope that is a rise of 4 and a run of 3. We have a y-intercept of negative 4. So our equation is going to be 4/3 x minus 4. That was actually number 3. Number 6, we have the points negative 3, 3 and 2, negative 3. So our slope's going to be negative 3 minus 3, 2 minus a negative 3. So there's our slope. To figure out our y-intercept, we're going to say y equals mx plus b. Use either point that you wish. I'll use the negative 3 for the y, negative 6/5 for the slope, and 2 for the x. So 2, negative 3 were my x and y. My slope was negative 6/5. So that gets negative 12/5. Now, if we're going to keep it in fraction form, I need to have common denominators. So I'm going to call this 15/5. And when I add that across, I'll get negative 3/5. So my final equation now is going to have a slope of negative 6/5 x minus 3/5. Next, we're looking at number 9. We're looking for the equation of the line. So we know that we have a slope of negative 2, 4, which reduces to 1/2. We have a y-intercept of 1. So our equation is going to be negative 1/2 x plus 1. So that looks like that is option B in the multiple choice for number 9. For number 12, we have a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of negative 6. So our equation is going to be y equals 4x minus 6. Number 15, the slope equals negative 11/5. And the y-intercept equals negative 12. So our equation is going to be slope times x plus our b, which is a negative 12. So for number 18, we have a point of 6, negative 2 and a slope of 3. So this is our x and our y. So y equals mx plus b. So when you subtract the 18 over, we get a b value of negative 20. So our final equation is going to be y equals slope x plus our b, which is a negative 12. 20. Number 21, we have a point at negative 13.7 and a slope of 0. If it has a slope of 0, then we know it's going to be a horizontal line. At negative 13.7, if it has a slope of 0, then that's going to be a y value of that height, and that height is 7. So we know the equation is y equals 7. Number 24, we want to be parallel to the line. So we want an equation parallel to the line through the point. So this number 24, has the point of negative 7, negative 4, and the equation of y equals 16. Now this might seem complicated, but it ends up being a little bit easier. It's very similar to the one that we did up here. We know that we're going to have a horizontal line. So we're going to have a line that goes right to left. It's crossing up at 16. It has a 0 slope. We need a line that's parallel to that to go through this point. So our new line has to be at negative 4. These two lines will be parallel, and our new line goes through that point. Number 27, we have the point negative 2, 1, and the equation of 10x plus 4y equals negative 8. So typically, to find our slope, we need to put this in slope-intercept form. So we'll subtract the 10x to the other side to get 4y equals negative 10x minus 8. Divide by the 4. So now we're going to have 5 halves x minus 2. That's the line. We want to be parallel to that, but through this point. So our y value is 1. Our slope to be parallel to it is negative 5 halves. The x has to be negative 2. We don't know what the y-intercept would be. Those cross out to get negative 5 times negative 1, which when you subtract the 5, you get a negative 4. So our final equation is a slope of negative 5 halves x minus 4. Now we want to be perpendicular. We want an equation that's perpendicular to the given line and through this given point. So we're going to look at number 30. So our point is 0, 0, and our equation is y equals negative 9x minus 1. Well, our current slope is negative 9, so our perpendicular slope is going to be 1/9. remember, you take what you have, which is negative 9 over 1, you change the sign to make it positive, and then you flip it upside down to get 1 over 9. So that's what our slope's going to be. We want it to go through this point. So you could say 0 equals your slope times 0 plus b. 0 for your y, 0 for your x. So the b value is going to turn out to be 0. So your final equation is just y equals your slope x. Number 33, we have a point at 2, 3 and a y-intercept at y minus 4 equals negative 2 x plus 3. This is actually, it's called point slope formula. We'll just convert it over to y equals mx plus b, distribute, add the 4, so there's our equal sign. So that's our equation that we want to have go through this point and be perpendicular to that line. So our current slope is negative 2. Our perpendicular slope is going to be 1/2. So we'll take 3 equals 1/2 x plus b. Subtract the 1 to get a value of 2. So our equation is going to be 1/2 x plus 2. Here's a number 36, working with graph paper. We have our equation. This is in standard form. We need to put it in slope-intercept form, so we're going to subtract the 8x to the opposite side. Divide by the 2. So if that's our equation, we're going to come over to our y-axis. I'm just showing the bottom part of the xy axis. We're down at negative 5 with a slope of negative 4. That means we're going to go up 4, which is positive 4, with a negative 1. Or go down 4 with a positive 1. And we connect those points to produce our line. And then you always write the equation. Number 39. Negative x plus 3y equals negative 9. Again, this is in standard form. So we're going to add the x over to the other side. Divide by the 3, divide it to all 3 pieces. So that gives us 1/3 x minus 3. So again, we've got our xy axis, just kind of using the lower portion of this xy axis. We're going to cross at negative 3 and have a slope of up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. You can also go down 1, backwards 3. and write the equation of the line on the graph. For number 61, we have a Tyrannosaurus Rex that weighs 2,000 kilograms at age 14. Then it gains 2.1 kilograms per day for the next 4 years. We're trying to figure out what the slope is. Well, what it seems like what we would have our slope is 2.1. And that slope is how much it's gaining per day. The y-intercept, which is 2,000, is a starting weight before it hit its growth spurt. So our equation would be y equals 2.1x plus 2,000. For number 63, we're going to buy pizza. We're going to buy some small slices at $2 a piece and some large slices at $3 a piece. You have $24 to spend. What would the equation look like? When we talk about writing an equation, we often use a standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. So in this case, we're going to have $2 for every small slice plus $3 for every large slice equals our $24. That would be our equation. A is going to equal number of small slices. B equals number of large slices, and C equals total amount spent.